Folks, welcome back. My name is Rudy. You're watching Alpha Investments. Today we have a first early indicator, Rudy's pump and opinion on the Modern Horizons 3 situation. And we're a couple weeks from release. The print run of the Modern Horizons 3 collector boxes is higher than Fallout collector boxes, which I guess isn't hard to do. But it's nowhere near the 2022-2023 bear market overprinting era that we saw with collectibles and brands across the board. So it looks like we're about, I'm going to estimate between 20 and 25% higher than Fallout, which is significant, but it's not really that significant. It's similar to the Ravnica Remastered Collectors, I think. But Ravnica Remastered Collectors was just a really distorted moment coming off the backs of November, December pre-orders at the bottom of the market. We had that January release, right? So I'm going to take a very simple approach to this, okay? If Ravnica Remastered Collector boxes are $300, all-time high, and that's a set based around Ravnica, based around Shocklands, based around serialized cards, and that product has already moved to $300 a box. I'm going to turn and pivot, the Rudy pivot, and I'm going to look at the Modern Horizon 3 situation, and I'm going to say, yes, the price point is higher. So if a store cost this time around, instead of being, I don't know, low 200s, I think, was it 300, 290s? 300, let's just say, whatever it is. Let's just make an even math this video. So if $300 a collector box, and stores are trying to sell for $350 to $400 range online, my immediate instinct is anything under $400 a box is a good deal for a MH3 collector box. That's the immediate knee-jerk reaction of my attitude right now. And that's without the full set spoiled. That's without knowing the difficulty of pull rates for serialized cards. That's without knowing the pull rates of fetch lands. Supposedly, no real information. Based on box openings I saw a month ago, you get on average between 6 and 9 fetch lands per collector box, which is almost identical to the Ravnica Shockland pull rate. So, based on a tight print run, based on what we learned from Ravnica Remastered with Shocks, based on how we learned the market was really inaccurate on the bearishness at that point in time, if the market believed Shocklands we're going to be $2 to $4 a piece, $5, under $5. And Shocklands are holding even 10, and the flashier, retro, fancier ones are holding 20. I mean, Fetchlands, in theory, should match and beat that by at least, a 10, 20, 30, even up to 50% higher price point, in theory. So a bad Shockland should be 10 to 50, a bad Fetchland in MH3, once the market settles, we'll get to that in a second, should be 10 to 15 apiece for a bad fetch land at the vacuum release of the market when everything vacuums down. And flashier versions, not talking about serialized, but just flashier versions. Actually, I don't even think there are serialized fetch lands. It's just Eldrazi, right? Flashier versions of fetch lands should still be $20 to $30 a card after the vacuum completes, after she's done sucking. So at the beginning, when we have this release, we're going to have all these stores. I've already been seeing chatter on it. You're going to have a lot of stores who bet on this product, and they're going to have $50,000, $100,000, $250,000, $300,000, $350,000 bills to pay distribution and pay wizards and all this crap to pay for this product. So you're going to see, once we hit release date, there most likely will be a short-term window, release maybe 30 to 45 days post-release, where we're going to see the weakest part of this market. The higher the price point, the higher the vacuum is. I know we're talking about a lot of sucking and vacuuming in this video. I apologize. I'm trying to stay on target. No giggities, no washing machines, no wife's boyfriends. I'm trying to stay very focused here. But remember that. The higher the price point, the higher the vacuum is going to suck downwards at release. Because there's going to be a panic recovery for stores. Because even if a third to half of all LGSs are undercapitalized, and let's say we used to have 3,000 LGSs in the United States, let's say we're between 2,000 and 2,500 after the amount of them went under, bankrupt, the 2-year bear market, COVID crash, whatever. If there's still over 2,000 LGSs in the United States, I would be willing to bet 1,000 of those 2,000 do not have any excess capital, any room for mistakes, any room for margin and errors and missteps. So at least half of people who are going to get these, and again, a lot of the smaller stores, they just order one case of collector boxes, a master case of 24. And there's nothing wrong with that. They sell a few locally, they open some up, sell singles, they sell some packs, maybe they have some fun events or that's great. That's fantastic. That's the way it should be. But I'm just telling you all, there's a lot of people out there who are, mini Rudys, mini, basement level 3 dwellers, mini vault dwellers down there. They're going to try to get as much as they can. And then when they start seeing price swings, there's going to be that panic of dropping price, race to the bottom, and the vacuum's going to go on high, and she's going to suck hard. You're going to have this huge downward momentum. And that happens with everything. Okay? We saw that, the worst case of that recently we saw was going to be Carlo's Foreclosed Manor. Because that one did not come back. That one sucked downwards, and she stayed down. That one did not come back. Ravnica Remastered went right back, and is still hitting all-time highs. Fallout, all-time, every other set, Ixalan's, Wild Drain, all-time high. You get the idea. So, what I believe we're getting ready to walk into in the next few weeks is a magic release that is going to be incredibly successful. Now, whether you buy from your local LGS, you buy from Jeff Bezos' penis rocket, Amazon.com, and his wife, woman on the rocket, whatever these people are. And you buy from them, you buy a local store, or you don't buy at all. You just watch people open online, or you only buy the singles you need. Which I fully support that new angle, because that's been fueling the sealed market on a strong recovery. That should be a separate video. And I think we're going to see release plus 3 to 6 months out, similar to Ravnica Remastered. I believe MH3 collector boxes will push to $400 or $500 a box. And I think it happens in under a year. That is the hot take of Rudy. Now, whether you agree with me or not, if you think I'm full of shit and trying to pump your ex, then I wouldn't buy it. I'd step aside, wait for the crash. That's what I would recommend doing. But based on the data we saw on Ravnica Remastered, and we look at what caused Carlo's Manor to collapse, we look at what's caused Ixalan, Wildsville Drain, Fallout, Doctor Who, Ravnica. We look at all these other collector boxes and how they're performing. We have to ask ourselves what causes these to perform so well. It's obviously tight print runs. It's just expensive single cards. You have serialized cards. You have just a lot of desirable things that are pulling the market. Even sets without serialized cards. Look at Boulder's Gate. Look at Commander Masters. Look at Double Masters. These things are insanely on a tear run. Okay, insanely on that's stupid. Anyways, moving forward. So I believe we are walking into a moment where this is going to be one of those scenarios that, I know goes against, but I believe this is going to be another scenario where the best time to buy an actual product is actually going to be release. That's just my opinion. Now you can try to time certain things, get an extra, maybe instead of paying $380 on TCG Player, get it for $360 or $370. You can argue the few dollar difference of $10 off, $5, but that's irrelevant. Because I believe within 1 year, all these boxes are going to be $400 or $500 plus. Based on the date. Now again, Wizards can make a fool out of me. And they could, by the way, we found 50 pallets and we're going to just send them out in the holidays. They could pull an Eternal Masters 2017 situation and they can annihilate the whole thing. There's always that possible small black swan surprise kind of moment, But based on what I'm seeing, that's what I think is going to happen. Now, a couple small other tidbits I wanted to kind of mention to you all. There's a lot of new cards in this. There's a lot of excitement around this. The power level is very strong. There's people who I've had patrons who've been 6-7 year patrons who haven't bought a Magic product in 2 years or something. And even they have messaged, and I look at their message, and I'm like, wow, even they're excited about buying it. And the fact I've already had at least maybe 30 to 40 patron messages requesting, hey, Rudy, are you going to sell master cases of MH3 Collector? That's always a huge indicator of bullishness and how people feel in the market. So first, to publicly answer that, no, I will not be selling master cases of Modern Horizons 3 Collector. A master case, remember, collector boxes usually come in mini cases of 6 from WotC and those mini cases of 6 are 4, and there's a master case of 24. There is not enough supply for me to offer master cases. If 30 patrons buy a master case from me and I tank the price down, I'm 30 people times 24. Holy smokes, I don't even think I'm going to have that many boxes total. I am fighting right now to try to get at least 1,000 boxes of Modern Horizons 3 collectors. Okay, and even if those boxes are $300 a piece, that's $250,000 just in that product line. If I can get 3,000 boxes of MH3, you're talking 3,000 boxes would be almost $1 million. Now, I don't think there's even a small chance I can get anywhere near that volume based on what I'm seeing on the market, based on what I'm seeing from other stores texting me and telling me what their allocations, what they think they're getting. There's just no way that's possible. I don't think it's possible for anyone. You'd have to have 10 different stores under 10 different names with 10 different distributor accounts trying to bamboozle and finesse. I'm sorry, I just don't believe it. I don't think it's possible. That's my attitude on it. I think right now the average LGS is going to get between, on the low side, 36 collector boxes, high side maybe 90 to 100. And I think some of the high whales, the top 1% stores, dealers, and everything are going to be able to get maybe between 1 and 200, maybe. It's not going to be dramatic. So if I can pull and get to 1,000, that is already going to be a huge achievement in my personal Rudy hamster brain. If that's the case, I think I can do up to like 6 boxes maybe. Or if it's lower than that, I'll have to cut maybe maximum order limit down to 3 or 4, maybe half case. It's too soon to tell. I'm running the numbers. I know I have a lot of patrons who just want one little box, and usually you guys know I don't usually sell one because of shipping logistics, but because these are so expensive, I may even be able to try to work out a 1-box option, but it's not, it's an extra couple of dollars, like an extra $5 or something. So that's where it's at. That's my opinion. I want to jump over to the Commander decks real quick and the play boxes. The Commander decks are an interesting one because, again, we have the premium Commander deck set for MH3. And I'm going to be blunt with you all. The average LGS is going to get between 1 and 4 of these premium deck sets. Set, not deck, just a full set of them. Like, the average store is going to get 1 set, maybe 2 sets, maybe 4 sets. So again, if you think these things are going to tank down to $200, $300, $400 on the open market, you are way wrong. This is another one of those things where Wizards has determined that making the supply so rare will keep it very expensive and will keep those products successful. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to sell that item at release. It doesn't look like it. I think right now I was told I'm getting like 4 sets. I can't do anything with that. I'm going to try to wait till after release, see if I can get maybe like 20 or 30 sets from a couple different sources. If I can run a little mini sale, I'll probably keep some for myself because they're just really cool. I like to keep a couple, like the 40K premiums and like the other. I like to keep a little. Those are just really neat to me. But I'll let everybody know it doesn't look good. So regular Commander. By the way, even the normal my MH3 Commander deck sets. This was more surprising than the collector. Everybody knows, like, there's no secret right now. Everybody knows that the print runs of collector boxes on all Magic products has been severely reduced, and Hasbro WotC is going out of their way to make the collector boxes actually collectible. Okay, that's what they're doing. There is no secret of that. Everybody knows that's already happening. Okay, now what I didn't expect to happen is for them to really tighten up on the Commander deck sets, because to me, it doesn't seem like there's a need to underprint that kind of thing. So, like, for example, if I request every distributor, I want 1,500 sets of Commander, and every distributor comes back and says we're giving you 200 each, like, that's a huge reduction on allocation. That's me saying I'm willing to spend X amount of hundreds of thousands on these Commander sets, and distribution says we can only do this, and Wizards is chopping down their revenue and gross sales. And for a Commander product, that is the most surprising moment I've had. The collector boxes and tightening that, I've been screaming at the camera for 6 months telling you guys, and then before the last 6 months, I spent 2 years yelling that collector boxes were being overprinted. So we are 2.5 years of me yelling about collector boxes and print runs, right? That's old news. Nobody cares. But Commander decks with a tight print run is truly an interesting shift in dynamic. So I am warning you on that. Like in the past, I've offered, like, patrons, they can buy 8 sets, 16 sets, even 32 sets. I've offered huge things that. This is not going to be one of those situations. When I'm only looking, when I don't even think I can get 1,000 Commander deck sets from multiple distribution sources, yeah, I'm going to try to be able to offer maybe 1, 2, maybe 3 or 4, but it's probably going to be pretty low. So anyways, last but not least, the play boxes. This reminds me of another Commander Masters draft set situation where everybody was complaining on the prices, but this time around, the prices are softer and a lot better. The Commander Masters set box situation where stores cost for $330 and we were supposed to sell for $400 just to make $20 net profit on a box was insane. This time around, I don't know what I think store cost is $220-ish, $218, $222, $220 for a play box. Okay, let's just even numbers for a video because it's tough to do exact. $220 for a play. So even if stores are selling these for $240s, that's a crazy good deal. Even $250, $260 is a really good deal for a box. I mean, the stores who sell for $260 for a play box and TCG player, after shipping and fees, they're going to maybe make $8 to $10 profit on a box. That's a really good price point. And considering we were talking about $300, $400, $500 Commander Master prices, MH3 at this price point with fetch lands and things, I think, no serialization or anything in, non-collector boxes, but I think that's actually very fair. This isn't a situation where I'm actually concerned, because when Commander Masters came out, I made multiple videos to you all saying I'm concerned that the price point and the bar is pushed so high at release that vacuum's going to pull it down when people need their money back and their capital recovery. I was afraid of a major drawdown, and that's why I skipped Commander Masters draft and set at release. It was too dangerous. Now, obviously, I went back later when I was able to get clearance pricing, and I did sell it. But at the moment, I knew it was too dangerous. But at this level, when store costs are in the low 200s, and you can sell them for 250s, let's say, that is more realistic. That is not out of the realm, because I don't see these boxes going, like, if a Commander Master set box was $330 and a customer paid $380 at release, $380 could easily go to $280 or $250, right? But when we're talking about an MH3 play box, that's $260 on TCG Player. That $260 box is not going to go to $160. There is no way on this planet, in this market, in a 2024 bull market cycle, we can have a play box with 24 packs, I'm assuming, instead of 36. I'm assuming 24. However many packs. There's no way you can have a box drop that low if that box is going to average, again, 4, 5, 6 fetch lands. There's no way. There is no way. The arbitrage opportunities. Now then you'll have a flesh and blood situation where the boxes are so cheap, you can just rip boxes and chase $50, $100, $20 cards and just sell singles. So I don't see that happening at all. I don't see an inverted EV happening. There's way too much demand. There's way too much early indicators of people just genuinely hyped about it. All the anger towards the product is the typical Wizards is too expensive. They're overprinting everything. They keep raising prices out of disrespect. Some people complain about the artwork still, but overall, I'm not seeing a lot of strong cases for failure or negativity this time around. This is reminding me very strongly of Ravnica Remastered. The only difference is people aren't as negative. And looking at what happened with Ravnica Remastered, looking at what the data, it's probably going to be incredibly successful. I think this is going to be a massive win for Hasbro WotC, and I don't think we're seeing any major collapse. I think the price points are set correctly. And hopefully, in the next few weeks, I can get all the box opening videos back on track, get behind the scenes finished up. I think it'll be a lot of fun. That's all I have. Hope you guys enjoy it.